Hey everybody, I got a lot of people that, when I start talking about money and about saving money, investing money and whatnot, a lot of people will sit there and start telling me, say, well, I don't have any and, things are so tight and I got, 20 kids and this and that and everything like that. But I'm going to show you a way that's just going to be pretty easy for you to make some adjustments, a little bit of sacrifice, and then we're going to start investing and get you on your way to financial independence. $2.89 a piece. We got $2.99, $2.19, $3.39, $3.69. We got $2.59, $2.59. Simply amazing. I came in here, got a little bit of breakfast to eat, and I watched. In 10 minutes, no less than 30 of those drinks walked out the door. I saw one guy, he walked out with 3 of them in his hand. I saw another person that walked out with 2 different drinks and then a Monster. And, you're looking at, when you really think about this. Now, I want you to understand something about human nature, okay? We're creatures of habit, okay? And generally speaking, one of the most normal responses to a situation is, that's the way we've always done it. Might be the company you work for, the way your boss does it, the way your boss hands out work, something, okay? I don't know, but that's a response that you hear quite often, okay? Give you an example. I was working for Cisco, the food distribution company. From January March, I got paid $7,800 in overtime hours sitting in the terminal waiting for my trailers to get loaded. And the people that got loaded first were the drivers from Georgia. And a lot of times they'd wait around in the yard burning up the clock for about an hour or 2 hours. And then they would get back to the yard in Georgia. They'd drop their trailers, and it was anywhere from an hour to 2 hours before the driver would actually show up, hook up to the trailer, and then go drop the food off. So what that means is there's almost minimum 2.5 hours that our trailers could have been loaded first, and then we could have been on the road, and then they could have loaded Georgia's and let them go. All right. I kept asking, why can't we get loaded first? They could never give me a straight answer. And so I said, let me ask you this, man. I said, you ever hear that crazy idea about that guy that came up with an idea that he could sell food out of the back of a truck? God's honest truth, this guy looked at me and he said, no, man, where'd you hear about this? I said, oh, man, it was incredible. The guy's made a fortune. Really? I said, oh, yeah. He said, man, he had an idea that he could sell food out of the back of a truck. Man, that's awesome. I don't know what to say. I said, dude, you're working for the company. The guy took a risk. Let me ask you this. Why is it that we can't do something different and just give me 2 weeks of loading these trailers differently to see if we can have an improvement? Because the problem is that we would get back to Pensacola, the sun would already be up. And that's really rough when you go to work at night and then you got to go to bed with the sun up. Safety's number one. So the guy just looked at me and I said, look, man, I said, I'm not the guy for you to pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. Eventually you're going to say, Robert, shut up or we're firing you. I said, because I'm going to continue to ask you about this. And then I gave them a 30-day notice and left. And they've asked me to come back once. So I know I'm not that bad. And I was polite about it, but the whole thing about it is that that's just the way we've always done it, okay? And nobody wants to take a risk and get out of that pattern. The thing about these energy drinks that I'm bringing to you is that 3 of those drinks a day is almost $15. When you multiply that times 5 days in a work week, okay, you're at $75. $75, that's $300 a month. That's $3,600 a year, okay? If you do the math and invested and just got a 7% return on $3,600 for 20 years or 30 years, you know, there's no telling, you'd have $1.5 million, $3 million in there. And if you never touched that money, okay? But here's the thing is one, somebody's not going to look at their behavior, okay? They're just going to accept this as this is the standard operating procedure. This is the way we do it, because I have always done it like this. I've always stopped by the store and got the Red Bull, got the Monsters, got the iced coffee or whatever, okay? Number 2, the reason, sacrifice. If you want something out of life more than what you have, chances are you're going to have to sacrifice something. You're going to have to do something different, okay? I don't know what it is, but you're gonna. Sometimes you're going to have to eat less. Sometimes you're going to have to drink less. Sometimes you're going to have to take your lunch to work. I don't know what it is, but you're going to have to figure it out, okay? But the thing is that most people that I have ever worked with are in a situation where we've been able to find $0 to $300 a month just like that, okay? And the thing is, though, is that the majority of them were not willing to make that sacrifice. Oh, it's not that much and everything. Well, the hell it ain't. That's $300 a month. That's a chunk of money, okay? Especially when you put it in perspective of, I do away with it right now, and then I'm going to be able to have so much more later on, okay? And here's the other thing about it is that when I had my convenience store, that energy drink, NOS, blue can, had one fall off the top shelf, fell on the floor. I waited 15 minutes before I went over there and cleaned it up. That floor in that store was painted with a 2-part garage floor epoxy paint. And in 15 minutes, that energy drink had that paint bubbling off the floor. So I can only imagine what it's doing to my stomach. And that's what cured me of the energy drink situation. All right? So, my whole thing to you is look around. See what you can do to make some difference. Bring up a little disposable income. And whatever you do, don't go and spend that money once you find it. Start investing it. Put it away. Okay? If you don't have, 90 days minimum of reserves in the bank, then get your reserves built up. Don't touch them, and then start investing. Okay? You got to have a good foundation. We're building a financial independence, so we need to start with finances. Get that foundation built so that if something does happen, it doesn't all come crumbling down. You don't want your hard work to go away just because of a little something, And folks, I've seen people that have gone into financial tsunami disasters because of a flat tire, starter going out on a car, something of that nature that most people just say, I'll just put it on charge card to get it repaired or something like that. Not everybody's in that position, and those people especially don't have those kind of reserves. It's Ronald Robert with the Hustle Nation. Just a little tip on making it better.